It's a special one today, folks, as Boston Bruins winger Brad Marchand joins me here on Locked On Boston Bruins.
You're Locked On Bruins, your daily podcast on the Boston Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Bruins fans, and welcome to the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast. I'm your host, Ian McLaren, and this is a daily show where we discuss all things Spoked B. It's a very special episode today as I am joined by Stanley Cup champion, two-time World Junior Championship winner, World Championship gold medalist, World Cup winner, elite winger, and elite tweeter, Brad Marchand. What a joy it was to sit down and chat with him for a little bit as the Bruins get ready to begin a West Coast road trip in Seattle. I hope you enjoy this chat as much as I did. Just a quick reminder that the podcast is free and available on your favorite podcast app, as well as on YouTube. So please do hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing leading up to the March 3rd trade deadline. Tell a friend specifically about this episode. You can find the podcast on Twitter, Instagram at Locked NHL Bruins, and you can find me, my dad jokes and hockey tweets, and sometimes a reply from Brad Marchand at Ian C. McLaren. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this chat with Boston Bruins winger Brad Marchand. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome today's guest to the podcast. Really needs no introduction, but here we go. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's the fourth member of the 2011 team to appear on Locked On Bruins, the first active Bruin, and he is elite both on and off the ice. And again, it's such a pleasure, an honor to welcome Brad Marchand to Locked On Boston Bruins. How's it going, Brad?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Who's the other three that you've had on?
Well, I've had Rich Peverly on a couple times.
Okay.
I'm located in Guelph, Ontario, and
Gotcha.
we bumped into each other a few times at the rink.
Yeah.
Who else? Adam McQuaid came on.
Oh yeah, that tall drink of water.
Sean Thornton came on.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so that was, all great stuff. And I guess we can start right there. 2011, you were pretty young when you won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
How, first of all, how are I know the bonds from that squad are still pretty strong among the guys.
Yeah.
We saw that on the Zoom during COVID. I know from hearing from those guys, there's like a group chat, I think, that still goes on from that group. How tight does that group stay?
We have a great group. We've stayed really connected. A bunch of guys are still involved in hockey, so we see each other relatively frequently around the arena still. So and like you said, still in the group chat. But yeah, we have a great bond. We had a ton of fun that year. A ton of fun after we won, and I just think when you go, it's known when you go through something like that as a group and you win together, that's a bond that you can't replicate with other people. I mean,
right.
What we all went through and we had to battle through and to overcome it all. You'll have that forever, and that's kind of that group. We have an unbreakable bond that we'll always get along. We'll always really enjoy getting together. And like I said, we have a ton of fun. Everyone is all over each other. We're like a bunch of big kids, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I could talk about that whole run, that team for hours. That was, as a fan, that was obviously the highlight of my life. Watching the team, I'm interested, having won kind of so early in your career. You've kind of aged like a fine wine as a player, getting better. There's opportunities that have come. 2013, 2019. Does having won so early, I'm imagining I know the answer, but I wouldn't expect that it kind of dulls the hunger for another cup at some point in the career.
No, yeah, you know what? I think it actually. I mean, everybody's different, but for myself, I think what it did is it really drives me more because I know, you know, how incredible it is at the end of the day once you do win.
Right.
And what I say to, I've said this a lot throughout my career now, is I wish that I knew how difficult it was to win when we won, because I kind of took it for granted. You know, like you win that early, you're like, oh, this is going to happen again. It's just,
right.
you know what I mean? But then once you go through it and you realize how long it takes to build a really good team, how many things need to line up, how healthy everybody needs to be. You need the right balances, you need the right calls from the referees. Like there's so many things that need to line up perfectly. And it's just, I mean, you see it. It happens to one team every year. Your odds are so slim every year. And like and then on the backside of that, you never know how long your career is going to be. So it's like, I took it for granted, and now I don't, because I know how difficult. I mean, I see, you know, also I'm getting older. There's an end in date for my career, and like I now like it, that propels me more than anything.
Right.
You know, to want to give up anything to win again, and which also makes what we have this year so special is that it does take, you know, it's such a unique opportunity, and you want to make the most of it.
Yeah, I was going to touch on this maybe in a bit, but since you're on that topic, it makes me think of, how good this team has been so far this season. You know, the wins record is on the horizon. It could happen. And also kind of the whole President's Trophy curse thing. But it seems to me that it's like you can't even compare regular season success to the playoffs, because it's almost like it's just a completely different beast. It seems like two kind of totally different. It all leads into the you have to be successful in the regular season to make the playoffs, obviously. But once you get there, it seems like a completely different ball game. Does the President's Trophy mean something to you guys? And how does that kind of translate into the goals you have for the postseason?
President's Trophy means nothing. It literally doesn't mean anything. And I say that because I shouldn't say it means nothing. The only thing it means is that you get home ice advantage. And other than that, we could care less.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I've said this multiple times this year, if you go through all the things that we could potentially accomplish this year in the regular season, and we broke 10 records. If you look back and you ask anybody on our team who had those records before us, nobody would know, because nobody cares. Regular season doesn't mean anything other than getting you an opportunity to win a cup. And that's why we all play. We don't play for the regular season. We plan to try to win a cup. And to have a seat in the dance, it doesn't matter if you're first or eighth seed. You're all starting all over again. And the thing is, in playoffs, some teams match up better than others against top teams. You see that against Columbus a few years ago when Tampa won.
Right.
And you see it every year. Some, you know, the 6th, 7th, 18th team there'll always be a team in each conference that gets through that shouldn't, based on the standings. And that's why it really doesn't matter. It just gets you a seat in the dance. And then once you're there, I mean, then guys, compete levels go through the roof, and that's when injuries can happen. And again, you could just match up poorly against a certain team, and you could match up phenomenal against a certain team, and you get bad reffing. Like, there's so many different things that play into it, bad balances, like that. It just, you got to get there. So we don't care about the President's Trophy other than getting home ice advantage. Other than that, it's about building our game, trying to get better for the playoffs, and you know, teams that we're going to see there, and just making sure we're prepared and we're accountable for when that time comes. But other than that, like, I don't want to hear about the records that we could break, because I don't care. And I don't want to, I don't even know what record we made earlier this year. I really don't. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, that's how we feel.
Yeah. I mean, home ice advantage wasn't in play the last time you guys did win the President's Trophy, because it was the bubble and all that. But even then, with seeding, the fact, even when you guys finished first, you still had to play those kind of playing games, and you ended up being like the 4th seed going into the playoffs. So
Yeah,
that was a weird year,
that was
obviously, but
obviously
still.
a lot of things happened back
Yeah.
then, and nobody could have predicted what was going to happen. Just people's lives were completely turned upside down. So the fact that we're even playing was incredible, and we were very, very fortunate for what we were still able to do. Like I said, a lot of people were out of jobs and homes, and so we were very fortunate. We cannot complain for 1 second about what we went through in that bubble. Yeah, it wasn't the most ideal situation, but we were fine.
Stepping away from today's chat with Brad Marchand here for a moment to let you know about today's sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the midway point of the NBA season, and now's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers get a no-sweat first bet of up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Download FanDuel Sportsbook app today. It's safe and secure, super easy to use, and you can bet on everything from the money line to point scores and threes drained. FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. Don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet of up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Yeah. Now, looking at this team again this season, a lot of people coming in thought these Bruins would be pretty good. Some people thought you guys might struggle to make the playoffs because of your injury to begin the season, Charlie McAvoy on the sidelines. I don't know if anybody expected you guys to be this good. Is there a single reason, do you think, for it, or is it just like a secret sauce of new coach, new system? The goaltending's been unreal.
Yeah,
you're getting contributions up and down the lineup, the leadership core, just all that put together.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on it all. When you have the depth that we have, we have two of the best defensemen in the world on the back end. That was probably one of the best trades ever made. Made in the last little while was getting Lindy and then signing him to the deal to sign him to. So having those two guys back there to lead our D-core, and then with Forby playing how phenomenal he is right now, Clifton stepping up, went to a whole different level this year with his game. Absolutely. Carlo back to playing the way that he had played the first while in his career, and then Grizzy is healthy again. So our D-core is incredible. Omar came out of the gate just absolutely playing unbelievable, and then up front you have guys that have taken huge strides this year. We got Greer in that adds a ton of depth. Foligno's healthy again this year. Frederick has stepped up and played really well. Jake is in a much better place mentally and playing great. Then you have bringing Zaka, who has a ton of depth, phenomenal two-way player. Krejci coming back fills a huge void. So we just have a ton of depth. And it's not like you don't watch our games say that we dominate every night. That's not how we win. We win because we play our system all the way through. And then Monty coming in with the coaching staff, bringing a whole, the whole new aura, with the coaching staff this year and guys having a fresh start. Sometimes that's what you need. Unfortunately, in the game, having a fresh start sometimes it gets everybody like back to ground zero and then you start building again. And that's kind of what happened. He's very good at keeping guys accountable, very positive for the young guys and stuff like that. And then it just all clicked. And again, that's what I mean by to win, you need things to click. Now that's part of it. And we have seen part of that happen. But like I said, we're not dominating games. We're finding ways to win. We chip away, and then we're able to find a way to capitalize late in games to win and or hold teams off when we have the lead. And it's been good, but again, that's something we need to continue to work on.
Now you personally, obviously you started the season sidelined, double hip surgery, which seems like no joke for sure. And how are you feeling personally? You feeling kind of back on top of your game? Is it still a work in progress? Or
no, again, it's tough. yeah, I probably came back. I almost felt like I had something to prove to get back early, and I probably came back a little bit earlier than I should have. But kind of felt that, the later I waited, the longer it would take me to get back to my game.
Right.
And I was just more worried about building towards playoffs. Like, as long as I'm feeling, at top of my game come playoff time, then I'll be happy with
Right.
making the decision to get the surgery. And I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. It's very difficult to make a 6-month game during the season.
Right.
Like, those guys are all 6 months ahead of me
Mhm.
to start the season. So to make that gain while you're playing is tough, and it takes time, and something I'll just chip away at until the playoffs. And again, I knew that coming into it, but for longevity wise for my career, it was the best decision I could have made. And that was one of the first things the doctor said to me after I did it was, "You're lucky you did it now, otherwise you'd be done in a year or two."
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was very reassuring that I did do both. And it would, because that was the whole point, like I said, is I was trying to push my career off another 3-4 years, 5 years, whatever I could.
Right.
And that was the time to do it. So
Yeah.
it's good timing, and getting back there, and it made it very easy to take that time to sit out and recover when the team was winning and doing well.
Yeah.
Then with Chucky and Grizz too, and but our training staff did a phenomenal job at pushing us where they could, and they put a great plan in place, and we just followed that. So if we didn't have the group off the ice that we did to push us and put the plan in place, it probably wouldn't happen that we all got back early. But those guys did an incredible job, and were able to make it happen.
Yeah, I know Jake, when he was hurt, he was in the booth one night and he was talking about just, how fun it was to, obviously you missed being out there, but fun it was to watch this team right now. So pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Just a couple more things here before we wrap up. I know you're in Seattle right now. You guys are getting ready to take on the Kraken. Safe to say that, looking at the 2025 All-Star Game, Seattle would be your preferred choice between Seattle, Edmonton, Detroit as the
Yeah,
as the league.
Seattle actually has incredible views out here. Beautiful mountains and water. There's not many places where you get that. I mean, obviously everybody got a little fired up there in my comments. I'm just saying what everyone else already knows. But no, I was just playing around. I mean, every city has pros and cons to it. Edmonton has phenomenal hunting, so I'll never put down Edmonton for that. Love going out there for that. Seattle has beautiful views. Detroit's close to Canada, so that's great. So a lot of fans would obviously come down for that. But the whole thing behind that was when you're having, I mean, if you really want the top guys to go every year and you want them to be involved, then you got to put them places where they want to be. Nobody wants to go to Edmonton in the middle of the winter.
Right.
Like when you have it in places like Florida, Nashville, Vegas, out in LA, like those cities, guys want to be there. Everybody wants to go on vacation in that time of year. Like, you're getting a break, you get to spend some time with your family. And no one's family wants to come up there on. It's the truth. If you don't like it, but it's the truth. And so that's just the best way if you want to get the top guys to go and enjoy it and actually want to be there. Then put it in places where they actually want to go and be, and then guys will go.
Yeah, I mean, I even took the break to go on vacation when you guys were off, so that was really handy.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, you've responded to a couple of my tweets, all in good fun, which is great. Thanks for going relatively easy on me. Do you what's the balance there between showing some personality, not wanting to stir the pot too much? Is it something you really think about, or is it just kind of?
No, I really don't care. I mean,
I
think that I'm going to go on and say things that, listen, I don't think I say anything that a lot of people don't think. It's just, I don't care if there's backlash, that people don't like what I say. I mean, if you don't like it, that's part of it. And that's unfortunately just what society has now become, where you can't say anything because everybody's going to hate on you for no matter what. Everything I say, a majority of things, I'm joking about, and I'm just having a good time. And like I said, it's all in light fun, and whether people want to make it serious, and that's on them, but I'm on there to have a joke and laugh. And if people want to take it serious, then they can. It's like this all-star thing. Like, I'm joking around when I say that stuff.
Right.
Is there a little bit of truth to it? Yeah, there's a little bit of truth to anything anybody says, but everybody takes it like it's live or die, and there doesn't need to be a line in the sand. It can just let's just have some fun and joke around and move on. It's not a big deal.
Love it. Now, one last thing before I let you go. You are partnering with Twisted Tea. They have a new NHL-inspired flavor, frozen cherry, features the NHL logo and a hockey sweater on the can. Perfect for drinking out of a big silver cup in the summer. You would think. Why are you excited about this partnership?
Yeah.
What do people need to know about the new frozen cherry?
Yeah, I mean, it was one I was excited about when it popped up, the opportunity. It is summertime and stuff like that. It's my favorite drink to go to. I was introduced to it back probably 10 years ago. It was actually at Luchik's house at the year-end party, and fell in love with it. I've loved it ever since. It's like I said, it's the drink. I don't drink often, but when I do, that's what I'm going for. And then we partnered up, and they brought out the Twisted Tea frozen cherry. That's just a whole new cherry on top. It incredible flavor. I really enjoyed it. Brought it home. My wife enjoyed it as well. So definitely going to fill the fridge with that and enjoy it this summer.
Perfect for parties late June into July.
Hopefully,
sure.
Yes. Well, time will tell, but we're hoping.
Now, one last thing. We're talking about cold drinks. I need a hot take for you. You guys have rocked a couple different looks this season. Are you team Pooh Bear, or are you team affectionately known as, well, we'll call him Crazy Bear. I don't know how the organization refers to
Which
him
one's
as,
the Pooh
but,
Bear? Do you have another Pooh Bear?
Pooh Bear is the one on the reverse retro that you guys have this season.
I like that one.
You like
I
that
like
one?
that one better.
And then this was the winter classic look, the reverse retro from last season.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
There you go. That's official. Yeah. That's going to cause some debates. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brad, for taking the time again. Good luck in Seattle tomorrow night. Good luck the rest of the way. And
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, pal.
No problem. Take care.
All right. See you, man.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. That was amazing. Thank you so much to Brad Marchand for jumping on. Thanks to those behind the scenes who helped it set up. And I hope you enjoyed that chat. Bruins, Seattle Kraken tonight. Looking forward to it. Hopefully a win. Hopefully a lot more wins to come. All right, friends. That was crazy. Hope you have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We'll talk to you again here on Locked On Boston Bruins, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your favorite team every single day.